이제 배가 고픈 사람은 이걸 잡겠지.
네.
여기에 이게 5억이라는 돈이 될.
What's up guys? I am sure by now many of you have seen Squid Game Season 2. And if not, consider this a warning, a spoiler alert. Well, in Season 2, Episode 1, the famous recruiter, actor Gong Yoo, he is going to a park in Jongno called Tapgol Park. And there he offers homeless people the choice between a bread and a lottery ticket, a scratch-off lottery ticket. Well, most of them choose the lottery ticket. After which he gets angry and enraged. He throws the bread on the ground. He starts to stamp on it. Today I want to go to that same park and introduce to you the history and show you the reality on a cold winter day. It is now January 11. It's minus 8 degrees. Let's check it out. This is the shop where he bought the lotto tickets. This is it. 1000원 로또 20개 주세요. 혹시 여기 오징어 게임 촬영 있는 도시 그치? 네, 감사합니다. How funny. Behind me is the Jours from Squid Game, where he buys the 100 pieces of bread. And it's now gone, a few weeks after the release of Squid Game. Okay, so guys, I bought choco pie instead. It's a good alternative. We made it into Tapgol Park. And as you can see behind me, many people are waiting in line, probably for some a free lunch they can get at a certain time. Tapgol Park isn't hard to find. Located in the Jongno-gu neighborhood, it's nestled between Jongno-gu and Jongno Sam gas stations, in the heart of downtown Seoul. Hey guys, I'm here with historian Ji-hoon, who's going to walk us through the history of Tapgol Park.
Yeah, I've personally studied this place for almost 20 years, but among many other things. Like, do you have an idea what this is? What this might be?
I guess some kind of like entrance fee,
Yes,
payment
so,
station.
Parks in the old days, especially public parks, whatever parks would be it amusement park or just like regular parks like this one, they all had entrance fees because the whole notion of a park in 19th century and onward to the early 20th century, it was a public place that you actually pay to get in. It had a sense of exclusiveness to it. So that building and this, along with this gate, is from 1967.
This gate, however, isn't the original main entrance. It's actually the much smaller one on the east side.
So this gate and most of the statues and everything, all the monuments that you see that was built in the commemoration of 1919 March 1st movement was all built in 1967. Fun fact, not many people seem to realize this thing, but this park was completely surrounded with an arcade between 1967 to about 1981. Yeah, it was called the Pagoda Arcade, which completely cut off the whole view.
What?
Yeah.
That looks so funny.
The only thing left out of it is that section over there.
That's the building right there. And inside, it feels like time stood still. My friend Jacko and I discovered an old Korean coffee shop tucked away inside. Tapgol Coffee Shop, ouderwetse coffee shop. Zullen we een bakje doen?
1m, 2m.
거의 1m.
197, 194.
이런 다방에 오면 상어차 꼭 마셔야죠.
맞아요. 이게
상어차.
계란 들어가요?
선생님 여기 오래됐나요? 이 가게?
이 가게 저는 8년 됐는데 이거 엄청 오래됐어요.
엄청 오래됐어요? 50년?
이게 50년대에 지은 거래요.
Ja, wat een plek hè.
hier 3 van die kleine kamertjes waar je vroeger kon telefoneren.
Check this out. 3 vintage telephone booths from way back when. They're no longer in use, but they're still here. Original main
That's
entrance.
the original. Yeah, that's the original entrance. As they built this park around 1903 or so, they started clearing out the area because this was actually a neighborhood. They had houses all over the place.
Oh, like just regular houses.
Regular houses. In Joseon era, they called this area the Baektapdong, literally meaning White Pagoda neighborhood. Moving over here, you have the monument, the stele, the Grand Temple of Taewon-gaksa. Which was here, and that's why we actually have the pagoda. That's like 500 years ago, close to 600 almost. So looking over here, of course, we have the centerpiece of the park, which is the pavilion, and it's of course in octagonal shape. Octagonal shaped buildings are very rare in pre-modern Korea. Now, there are so many. If you go in Korean public parks today, you'll find a ton of these octagonal shaped pavilions all over the place. The whole figure of octagon was thought to be in certain circles. I mean, it depends on which time period and beliefs that they had. But throughout much of Joseon, it was considered to be a bad one, largely because it's a double of 4, and 4 usually because it's pronounced 사. It has the same pronunciation of the word death. Double death, like, yeah, you should avoid this. This was built in the early 1900s, and by this point, of course, people just,
Whatever.
Forget about it, whatever.
Yeah.
Going over to the pagoda. So this is an early Joseon Buddhist pagoda, which is a rare thing of its own because Joseon, for the most of its time, like suppressed Buddhism, and they didn't really care much about it in the first place. Somehow, they built this grand one in the middle of the city, which was actually technically against the law, but of course the king insisted, so why not? So in 1947. What happened was, at a certain point in time, probably long after the temple was destroyed, the topmost stories had been toppled to the ground until 1947 when an archaeologist by the name of Kim Jae-won, he decided we could just put it back over there. There's nothing like that prevents it. So he borrowed out the U.S. Army Engineer Corps crane to put these like top pieces together on top. So it has been sitting there ever since. Fun fact, they actually found the board game inscribed on it. Now, they literally, the stonemasons, because they were bored inside the thing, where of course, this is like almost like, each of these pieces are blocks of,
separate layers,
separate layers
on top
and
of each other.
like blocks. So between these blocks, obviously there's a place where, people wouldn't see, once it was completed. So they actually carved a board game in it. There's a picture of that.
What was it, Jonggi or Babu?
It was a kono.
Funny, the symbolism of that board game hidden underneath there, and right next door here, all these Josis are playing board
Oh
games.
yeah, of course, Changi and all the board games, and of course Ko.
Yeah.
When the weather is nicer, you often see elderly folks playing board games along Tapgol's walls. It's super fun to watch.
누구세요?
여기 있어 책임자.
제가 궁금한 거 있어요. 왜 여기 아저씨 많아요?
여기 왜 그러면 할아버지들이 왜 많으냐면은 저기요. 여기서 뭐 준다고.
네.
도시락.
도시락? 아, 먹는 거?
예, 12시 돼서 11시 돼서.
이 양반이 도시락을 무료로 주는 거야.
아, 그래서 여기 기다리고 있어요.
그래 이 양반이 주는 거예요. 이 양반이.
네.
이 양반이 여기 도시락을 준다고.
아, 이거 목사님?
목사님
목사님은 아니고 약간 뭐 쉽게 얘기하면
그냥 좋은 사람?
좋은 사람.
예.
맞아. 그렇게 생각합니다.
왜 좋은 사람이세요?
돈이 많으니까 좋은 사람.
돈이 많.
돈이 많으니까 이걸 해주고 돈 없으면 이걸 해주겠어요?
돈이 많은데 많이 다른 사람 많이 줘요?
그 노인들을 위해서.
It's a shame, therefore, that the temple itself had only survived for about 40 years. Was established around 1467. Yeonsan-gun, of course, one of the most hated, what they call tyrants of Joseon Dynasty, turned the whole thing into what they call like his own personal harem of some kind, because he had collected all these pretty women all over the country.
This is such a fascinating little spot, filled with March 1st independence movement symbolism, including the Declaration of Independence, which is even written in English for those curious. But one thing, tucked all the way in the back, is definitely worth a stop.
So we have some of these, bronze pieces, also done in 1967 in commemoration of the March 1st movement. So it's basically a depiction of how things went. If you look closely, to be honest, a lot of these carvings are done very poorly. It looks like almost like cartoonish in many ways, which is a shame. Part of the reason why it's so ugly is that this was done very hastily. It was done over a course of barely 2 months. Whole pieces,
all of these
things.
Oh my!
And so even though supposedly this was all done by this famous sculptor, he couldn't possibly keep them on time. Besides having that big statue to be erected over there, so that was his work. But it is said that he gave all these projects to the younger, college kids. That he was teaching as a professor at Hongdae. So much of the stuff that you see over here are like pretty much freshman student work, but it's kind of hilarious. I like it for its almost like kitschness, like catchy quality to it. Like,
And we get the message.
Yeah, we get the message too.
That's most important.
They're trying their best, like all these 19-year-old kids.
Many of my curiosities have been satisfied here, except for one. Why are there so many elderly people around? They may not all be homeless, as depicted in Squid Game, but there are certainly a lot of them.
여기 그 나이 드신 분 이 동네에 많이
많이
몰려오시죠?
모이세요. 탑골 공원.
네.
그렇죠.
거기에. 그러니까
뭐 장기도 하고.
네. 오늘 추워서 아마 바둑 같은 거
바둑.
못 사람들이 많이 모이면 거기 오면은 서로 말벗대고 친구 되잖아요.
네.
친구.
여기 오면 외롭지 않을 거예요.
외롭지 않으니까.
음,
근데 나이
역시.
드시면 혼자가 많잖아요.
네, 노인들이 멀리서 이제 지하철 타고 서브웨이 트레인 예? 타고도 여기 종로 한국의 그 중심지.
네, 반갑습니다.
땡큐 베리 마치.
네, 이거 하나 선택해야 하면 무슨 거 잡고 싶어요?
이제 배가 고픈 사람은 이걸 잡겠지.
네,
여기에 이게 5억이라는 돈이 된다고 볼 수가 없어.
운이 좋은지 나쁜지 모르겠어요.
모르지.
네,
예? 그러나 이거보다 돈을 더 투자했잖아.
네,
응? 이거 1,000원.
네,
이것도 1,000원. 예? 똑같은 거지.
네, 그치?
근데 아이들은 이걸 좋아하지.
네.
예? 나이가 먹으면 이걸 좋아하는 거야.
아 그래요?
예? 왜 그러냐면 하나의 소망이지. 자기의 형편이 안 좋거나
네,
또는 미래의 어떤 약속이 내가 하고 싶잖아. 미래의 어떤 것을 꿈을 이루고 싶다.
네.
드레임. 응? 그러면 그 꿈을 위해서 어떠한 것을 조금 나은 것을 투자하는 거야.
네. 그렇죠.
지금 오늘 이걸 하나를 안 먹어도 되지.
네.
예? 그러면 이걸 선택할 수가 있는 거지.
네.
예?
그리고 오늘 선생님 둘 다
I gave away all the choco pies and lotto tickets. They got both, of course, and hopefully they will have a lucky draw.
제가 복권 사는데 다른 사람한테 주시고 싶어요.
아,
네.
로또를.
누구한테 좋은지 모르겠지만
제가 나눠드릴게요.
네.
예, 땡큐.
맛있게 드세요.
오늘 아침에 많이 사서 다 먹지 않아요.
드세요.
Now you know about Tapgol Park, a place that might attract more visitors after Squid Game, or even this video. Just keep in mind, be aware of and respectful towards the elderly. Welcome to Madong. Haru.
What would you do if somebody came up to you and they say, okay, you can either choose the bread or you can choose a lottery ticket and have a small chance, a very small chance to change your life forever? What would you do?